What's up guys, Tyler from the MX Factory here, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to wheelie. The first steps for all you beginners, new riders trying to wheelie, this will be the video for you. Let's go. Hey, make sure you guys stick to the end. We are gonna drop a bomb on the motocross industry. Check out the end of this video after you do your wheelies. All right, first things first, it's really important that you guys have a good surface for getting started on this. You want something that creates traction to the back tire, so you don't want a really slick surface. That would be hard packed dirt. Definitely riding on an incline a little bit helps. The balance point's a little lower, meaning you got to get the front end up less high to be in the balance point. So if you can do it going up a grassy hill, that's a great scenario. Otherwise, just nice flat dirt, but that's a little bit sticky where the back tire bites. All right, so the first thing you have to know is where to sit on the bike. If you sit on the wrong part of the bike, it can make this really bad. Okay, so what I always think about is getting my butt close to the axle. So if I draw a line down from my hips, I'm not too far from being in the axle. The closer to the axle, the rear axle, the easier it's gonna be to be in the balance point, which is very important. The second piece is having tight knees, being able to access the brake. So I like to keep my foot in my arch, or the foot peg in my arch, toes over the brake. Other foot's gonna be on the ball of my foot, and then a finger on each control. You don't really need the front brake, it's just a habit for me, but you want a finger on each control. And then just be in a good straight up neutral position with the upper body. That way if the bike moves around, you can pivot one way or another and doesn't affect you highly. All right, so the second piece of this is gonna be actually the disengagement of the clutch. So the clutch pop is what we like to call it. So basically what you're gonna do is you're going to load the bike by coming in, slowing down. You're gonna have the clutch in, obviously. You're gonna grab a little bit of throttle and pop the clutch at the same time. All right, so I want you guys to set up 2 cones to make sure you have a distance marker. And what I want your goal to be on the clutch pop is when you get the bike in the air, I want the least amount of throttle to get to the next cone. We've got our cones about 15 to 20 feet apart. You can start a little smaller. The idea behind this is getting the front wheel up enough and close to the balance point where you can almost coast to the next cone. So it's a clutch pop, front end comes up. We don't want a lot of throttle because we're not used to modulating throttle just yet. We want to get close to the balance point with our clutch pop, and then we need just a little bit of throttle to keep it up. So I want your goal here to be in good position, clutch pop, and see if you can get a coast to your cone. All right, the next part we'll be working on using the back brake to control the height of your wheelie. Now a drill that I think is really special is getting the front end up and hitting the back brake to bring it down. So the closer you get to your balance point, the less throttle you'll need, but sometimes you may go a little past the balance point and need the back brake to get the front end down. Most beginners in this scenario make the mistake of freaking out and taking their feet off of the pegs when they get the front end up. You have to do enough reps on your clutch pop and squeeze the bike with your feet till it starts to become natural that you keep your feet on, because you need that back brake. And when you get really good at wheeling, it's clutch, throttle, back brake all the time. A little bit of clutch to make sure it doesn't stall if it gets way up, a little bit of back brake to lower it back down, and then throttle to get it back up in position. So this is just gonna get you closer to being able to do that all the time. Another thing guys, you don't ever wanna chop the throttle real hard here. So if it's coming down and you know that it's on its way down fast, don't try to grab a bunch of throttle. Just know that like, I'm gonna start over, right? You wanna get up in the balance point and you only need little throttle bites to keep it there. The big mistake that most beginners make is it comes down and they grab a bunch of throttle and then all of a sudden they're on their back. And they grab a bunch of throttle and that makes them speed up so they're on their back hard. So to avoid that big crash and getting hurt, just little throttle bites. All right guys, you stuck around to the end and the bomb is detonated. We are dropping a free 6-part video series to help make you a safer and faster rider. All you have to do is click down below. It'll be the first thing in our description. Click on it and it's coming to you soon.